Cars Toons diecast line made some pretty weird choices when it was coming out. Some shorts got only 2 or 3 releases, while others got 10 to 15. Additionally, a lot of very significant characters just straight up weren't released, like a regular Tokyo Mater, who wouldn't come out until 4 years after the Cars Toon diecast line ended, or Matador McQueen, who's missing still to this day. I heard he was actually cancelled. He was supposed to be released in 2010, but we just never got him, and unfortunately, images of him have never surfaced. In addition to that, a lot of very significant Cars Toon characters, primarily the main variants of Mater and Lightning for several different shorts, were only sold in multi-packs. Characters like Mater the Greater and Heavy Metal Mater right here were only ever put out in 4-packs, and there was no other way to get them. Some of them were lucky enough to get re-released when the Cars Toon line was made Walmart exclusive a few years later. Heavy Metal Mater, as you could see, would be reissued in a 3-pack in 2013. Mater the Greater was re-released a few times in some different multi-packs, even got a pretty rare single in 2017. But still, it's odd to see so many of these significant Maters and McQueens be relegated to multi-packs on their first release. There are some exceptions, but Mattel honestly typically doesn't make really significant characters be multi-pack exclusives. And the Cars Toon line is full of examples of this for whatever reason. I don't know why they chose to make so many prominent characters multi-pack exclusives. Was it probably to drive up sales? Yeah, but then some of those multi-packs were store exclusive, so it just made it a mess. It was really difficult to get your hands on a lot of the significant McQueens and Maters from Cars Toons, and to this day, because of how it was handled back then and how infrequently Cars Toons items were released and how short they stayed on shelves, a lot of Cars Toon cars are absolute disasters to get on the secondhand market. I remember as a kid really loving Heavy Metal Mater and wanting to get him, but all I could ever find were Eddie and Rocky and Heavy Metal McQueen. Because little did I know, Heavy Metal Mater was only out in a 4-pack and not out as a single. For years now that I'm an older collector, I've been trying to find a good deal on a pack with Heavy Metal Mater in it, so I could finally get my hands on one of my favorite Cars Toon Mater variants. And last week, while doing research for my next episode of Cars Diecast History, I finally found a good deal. Most Heavy Metal Mater packs tend to go for $50 to $60, and I found somebody who was selling a pack for 25% off. It was about $37 plus a few dollars for shipping, so I was able to get it for a pretty good deal, honestly. I ended up getting it for $48 instead of $57, so I was pretty happy about that, and now I can finally add Heavy Metal Mater to my collection. Anyway guys, welcome back to yet another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Heavy Metal Mater 3-pack from 2013, including Heavy Metal Mater himself, one of only 2 ways to get him, the only other way, of course, being his original 2010 4-pack release, and it also comes with Eddie and Rocky. Ironically, these two were packed together as a single when they first released, but here they are being counted as 2 separate items, making this a 3-pack. Yeah, as you can see, back when this came out, this was a Walmart exclusive. We've got some really nice artwork here of Heavy Metal Mater, and I love the fact that the name tag is studded to look just like him. This is an item that is honestly really surreal for me to get. When I unboxed this on my channel a few days back, it felt wrong to have this in hand. It feels so strange to own Heavy Metal Mater, and even stranger now that I'm about to open him up. We've got the Cars Toon logo there. I got Mater screaming with, I believe this one is Rocky in the background, right? Heavy Metal Mater logo there. Just savor this packaging, because this is the only Heavy Metal Mater 3-pack ever made. I'm pretty sure there weren't any other ones, so you're never going to see me reviewing this exact type of packaging ever again. And I don't see myself getting my hands on any other Cars Toon multi-packs anytime soon, honestly. They're all pretty expensive. As you can see, we've got these little M logos. They kind of look like they were made in the shape of guitar picks. Those fill all of the packaging here. You could see the typical Cars red design actually fades into more of them there, which is just a really nice touch. Although it unfortunately doesn't continue onto the side here, it's just there on the top. Cars Toon logo there, smaller Cars Toon logo there with a bit of the window box showing through. Over here you can see who's in the pack: Eddie, Heavy Metal Mater, and Rocky. You've got Heavy Metal Mater 3-pack and a few other packs out at the time, including these two Mater the Greater ones, as well as the Tokyo Mater pack, which was the only way to get a regular Tokyo Mater when it finally came out in 2013. Now, I believe this pack, sorry, 2014. I believe this pack is 2013, so this is kind of a prelude to a future pack, I guess. And the funny thing is, this actually has flames. You see, Tokyo Mater was originally supposed to have a Flames release in 2010, which would have acted as like the regular Tokyo Mater for the line. And eventually, that was canceled. And so in 2014, when they finally released him, they did a new variant without flames. But as you can see, the prototype image here uses the prototype image of the canceled Flames variant, which is interesting. Mater said he used to be a big rock star. He and Lightning McQueen jammed together in the Heavy Metal Mater Band. Is it a true story or a tall tale? Find out in the rockin' short film Heavy Metal Mater. See the adventure again and again at the Cars website. Wow, I don't think it's there anymore. Heavy Metal Mater logo there. Of course, the little sign showing you the as seen in for it, right? And just another note, again, these do all use their prototype images. You can see Rocky has a different face. Eddie, pretty much the same. Yeah. Mater is pretty much the same as well, but Rocky does have a bit of a different expression there. This is actually, I believe, the first time I've ever unboxed a Heavy Metal Mater item on my channel, so I think that's even the first time I've read that description there. Yeah, Heavy Metal Mater doesn't have all that many diecasts for it. It's got a couple, but really not all that many. I think now that I have Heavy Metal Mater, all I'm missing is Music Video Mater and Rodney the Rocker. Alright, we're going to open the pack up from this side. That seems like the easiest way to do it without damaging anything. The eBay seller I got this from said that they actually resealed it and had previously opened it. That doesn't really seem like the case, but maybe they did. This side was much easier to get open than the other side. And if it was resealed, I mean, clearly they didn't do anything after they opened it, right? They just left everything as is. I really, really love how the backing here looks. It just looks perfect. We've got the whole red stage design here with all the lights, just like in the short. You even have a little Disney and Pixar copy right there. Now, let's get these three out of the package. We'll twist tie them to freedom. This would probably be easier for me to do off camera. Now, typically, you might be wondering what I'm going to do with the spare Eddie and Rocky here. Typically, when I get duplicates for items I already have, I will repaint them, but I'm actually going to be sending these off to my good friend Robin Tailsfighter, who lives over in the Netherlands. For my birthday, he sent me an absolute ton of cars that I don't have. He sent me like 20 cars, which I opened here on the channel a few weeks ago, and so for his birthday, which is in a few months, I'm going to be sending him over Eddie and Rocky, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can find a few other items as well. So here are Eddie and Rocky out of the package. Identical to mine, of course. These are just straight up re-releases of the original items. They weren't upgraded to unibodies or anything. You could see they still have their eye plates and their mouth plates. Mine, of course, just look a little more scuffed, a little bit older, especially on Eddie here. You can see his guitar is also yellowing quite a bit. Robin's going to be sent these new ones. I always like to keep my originals because of sentimental value, even if they're a little scuffed up. That's perfectly fine. Eddie, of course, has his bandana here with the sort of Heavy Metal Mater cross design that appears quite a bit throughout the short. We've got Mater written there on the guitar. Same sort of design there for the T, of course. And he's got a really nice expression. I love the bandana up top and everything. And I have always really, really loved how the forklift arms are molded to hold the instruments. It's honestly really impressive. Not much going on him in terms of the outfit, but that's alright. He's got some studs there, of course. And I love how the bandana is tied up there around the back. You can see the zipper here with his leather jacket. Another detail I absolutely love. I think it's so funny that they would have to put this on as clothing, and this isn't just painted on, you know, this is zipped on, and that is such a nice detail with the zipper there. Really, really nice touch. Of course, there is a look at the base. Let's see if there's anything different between the bases. I'd assume, like, the date stamps would be different. Yeah, you can see. Legal information put on differently, much smaller text here, obviously some different dates and such. So I guess if you have both of these and they're identical, that's how you could tell them apart. With the base there, I assume the same would be true for Rocky. Yeah, much larger legal text here compared to the original, where it is a whole lot smaller. Rocky, loving the top hat, man. I always assumed he was meant to be a reference to Slash with the massive top hat here. He's got some great eyeshadow going on. Always love the design of this guy. We've got his red electric guitar. Nicely detailed. These are, of course, very soft plastic pieces. They're not removable in any way. You could kind of get it out of one of Rocky's forks, but it is permanently attached to the other one. As for Eddie, he's got a much better grip on them, I think. But, you know, I doubt they're going to break off. Mine have been fine for over a decade at this point. We've got a bit of an open mouth expression for him, and studs all over the place. These are unfortunately not molded on. They're printed on. From some angles, they do kind of look molded in because they're a very nice 3D effect. But hey, if you're going to make that shape, it's going to end up looking 3D, you know, regardless of if it's 3D or not. He's got a bunch of smaller circular studs going all the way across the back, and it looks like these two sides are completely identical. No zippers for Rocky here. Now it's time to move on to the main event. Heavy Metal Mater and his little wiring twist ties. Let's get these off of him as safely as possible. Let's see. There's one. And let's see, where should we pull from? And Mater, come on, man. I paid $50 for your pack, buddy. I don't want to break your axles. Okay, hold on. Do this off camera real quick. Okay. Heavy Metal Mater is free. He's ready. He's going to scream dadgum. I like to think that was Heavy Metal Mater's only song. You know? We never heard any other ones. I wonder what the rest of the album would have sounded like. Alright, here he is out of the package, and man, he looks amazing. Look at that. I absolutely adore this item. It looks so good with his massive jacket. We've got so many great designs here. This, I think, is one of the best, most screen-accurate facial expressions I've ever seen on a Cars diecast. We got his shiny silver hood and headlights there. Love the mouth expression as well as the eyes. He's missing his light up there, of course. Heavy Metal Mater takes place at a point in the timeline where Mater hasn't rusted yet, but he is starting to break a little bit. No hood, broken light up there. We have these designs here, hooks, and these little designs here, which of course are supposed to be tattoos, which I think is really, really funny. In universe, I guess they're supposed to be face tattoos. I really love that detail there. I absolutely love how Heavy Metal Mater takes, like, punk rock and heavy metal rock culture and adapts the outfits onto cars. Sorry for the lighting there, that was terrible. He actually does have some studs molded onto his hubcaps there. These are a plastic piece actually placed on or into the mold, but still very nicely sculpted. This is a bit of a soft plastic. It's not really soft plastic, but it's not hard plastic either. We'll call it a medium plastic, representing the coat with the collar being folded over with some little pieces of silver on that as well. Really, really well detailed. Another detail I absolutely love about this Mater is the fact that his mirrors are folded back, kind of like having his hair slicked back. You might think that that was just something they did on the diecast to accommodate for the jacket, but that actually is true to the short. As you can see, that's just how he looks. He has them sort of folded back, and I think that's just a really funny touch. On the side, we've got these 3 stars. And again, they too are molded in. All these studs are molded in. These ones are printed onto the plastic back half of Mater. You could actually kind of see that these are a decal there. You can kind of see the outline for that. But still, really, really impressed with all of the sculpting and molding there. I'm not sure if his tow hook is supposed to be flown back like that, but we'll leave it as is. I'm not going to try to warp that back into shape. You could see actually all of Mater's tow hook apparatus is actually kind of pushed back and down a bit, which again, I think is very much the intention there. It's just part of the design. Yeah, if you try to push that back up, it's not gonna do that. This is very much how it's supposed to look. Just all part of the sort of slicked back aesthetic. Really, really love how this item looks, though. We've got more studs down there. Mater's iconic A113 license plate, which still says Carburetor County. Exact same license plate as per usual. You know, some shorts change the license plate, but it's really funny that Heavy Metal Mater still just says, yeah, he's in Radiator Springs. It's where he's from. It's all good. We've got a spool there and a nice shade of silver. Always love when they add that extra bit of detail by making the tow hook spool be the color of the cables. That actually doesn't always happen. There's a look at the other side, which is identical. And finally, there is a look at the base. And there you have it, guys. The Heavy Metal Mater 3-pack with Heavy Metal Mater himself, Eddie, and Rocky. And we'll add in McQueen in there to finally complete the band. And you know what? You know what? Let's add another Eddie and Rocky there for good measure. There we go. Now that's a band that I would go to the concert of. There we go. You know, they never made the drummer. That's a shame. There you have it, guys. Heavy Metal Mater. Finally, very excited to add this guy into my collection. He looks super cool. An item I honestly still can't believe I picked up. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.